in public health. So first of all, the basic tool that everyone needs to know is Microsoft Excel. That is the first, that's the starting point for data analysis. Once you have mastered Microsoft Excel to an extent, then you can go into SPSS, because most of the jobs in public health, they require a basic knowledge of Excel and a basic knowledge of SPSS. Okay, then if you also want to get more skilled in terms of the job market, then I would recommend that you can learn R. You can so that means that at least if you are a public health student, you need to be skilled in at least two of these. Sometimes I see job offers that require you to know starter. If you are doing something like meta-analysis or network meta-analysis, you might be needing starter at a point. But the two most important ones that you must master, at least be very good in them, is SPSS and Microsoft Excel. That is the basic minimum. Then for those that would like to delve into the area of epidemiology, those that want to go into epidemiology in their postgraduate study or in your work, in your career, then you need to try and learn R. R is almost mandatory for epidemiologists, okay? So also, though this one is a kind of like less emphasized now, because in terms of epidemiology, you may not need it so much, but if you're working in the hospital environment, you might need to learn something like SQL. At least it's not, it doesn't mean that you have to be an expert in all these things. You just have to have a basic knowledge and be able to, like query some data sets. So without wasting your time, I will move straight to SPSS. I assume that we all have a basic knowledge of Microsoft Excel. Is that right? At least a basic knowledge. Is that right? Oh.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's just go straight to SPSS right now. Okay, just basic. Okay. So in SPSS, after today's session, I will give you guys this particular handout. I've been preparing these handouts for over 5 months now, just to make it very simple. So first thing first, there are basic rules in SPSS, which you can all see on the screen. So now I'm going to open the software so that you see what it looks like. Okay, so now, so when you open the software for the first time, this is what it looks like on the screen. Okay, so you have two views in SPSS. You have two views in SPSS. The first view is called the data view. You can see where my cursor is now. That is called the data view. While the second view that you see in SPSS is called the variable view. Can you guys still see my screen?
Yes, we can clearly.
All right. Okay, so now the first thing you must understand in SPSS is to understand how to interact, how these two views work. Okay, so now I'm going to bring out a questionnaire and we demonstrate it practically. Okay, so this questionnaire was given to me by David, I think yesterday. So let's see what it looks like. So let's say you have finished writing your proposal, and then it's time for you to go to collect data. Now, each of the questions here, each of the question that you see here is called a variable. So for example, this is age, right? And now you have age has 5 categories here. There are 5 categories here, 5 groups, 5 age groups, right? So what you call this type of variable is, you call it a categorical variable. Let me explain what a categorical variable is. A categorical variable is a variable that is not a number, and there is no ordering inside it. Okay, so now I'm going to enter the first question in this questionnaire into SPSS so that you see how it works. So first of all, I have seen that there is no ordering, there is no ranking. Sorry, I've seen that these variables here, even though you are seeing them as a number, even though you are seeing 18 to 24 is a number, right? But when it comes to variables, this is like group 1, this is group 1, this is group 2, group 3, this is group 4. So anything that occurs in groups, anything that you see that occurs in groups, when you see something occurring in groups, then there are only 2 types of variables that you can see in that setting. So you have a nominal variable, and you have a categorical, and you have an ordinal. So let me just delete this and show you. So here now in this session, now this variable here is categorical in nature. So how I will classify this in SPSS, this is called a nominal variable because it has categories inside it. It has categories inside it. I don't know whether I'm clear. Even though you are seeing numbers, but because those numbers are grouped, they are grouped together, that automatically the type of variable that you are seeing now is a nominal variable. So for us to tell SPSS that this is a nominal variable, like I told you before, there are 2 views. So now we will start with the variable view. Okay. So now this is the variable view, and this is our question 1, right? So now I have clicked on variable view. Then I'm going to type in question 1. Okay. So once you type in question 1, you will see that all these other values will come out here. So first step, I clicked on variable view. You can jot just for your revision. So first step, I clicked on variable view. If you have a questionnaire, you can just follow me. So first step, I clicked on variable view, and then I clicked on the number 1, and then I typed in question 1. Okay. So now I have question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So can I share this questionnaire on the chat box so that David, can you share this questionnaire so that those that have a laptop can also follow me along as we are practicing?
What did you say? What did you say?
I said, can you share this questionnaire that you sent to me so that those that have access to their laptop, they can follow along?
Okay, I should share it to them.
Yes, maybe on the WhatsApp group.
All right. Okay, I'm doing that too.
Yeah, so why I'm taking the pathway of being practical is because we have a lot of theories. So, we have gone to lecture, we hear theory, we go online, we also watch theory. So today's on is not a theory. We are doing straight from the questionnaire. How do we actually make sense of it? So I've got so question 1 is like I told you before. What you are seeing is they look like numbers, right? but there are different groups. So anything that has group in it automatically is no longer a number. Okay, so, and that is what we're going to do. So here, you see this column here, name, you're just type in question one, that's Q1, okay? Now, numeric, the data type here, you click on these three options here, and you will see different options here. So here is asking you what type of variable is this? Is it a number? Most times what you are going to encounter and what you'll be using is numeric and string. String means ordinary letters, okay? So those are the two common ones that that all of us will encounter most times at this level, okay? So now the age, based on my explanation, the age is already grouped. So that age you are seeing there is no longer a number, is no longer numeric in nature. Okay, so that age now becomes a string in this sense. So a string, like I said before, a string means anything that is not a number, something like the letter, alphabet. Okay, so I'm going to select string here because that age that you are seeing .
Tony, you're still there? Tony, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I said so far the little things have. Do you guys understand it? Any question, any confusion at this point? Do you understand why that age is not there now? That age group is not there.
Tony, mute them.
Okay. Do we understand why this age is the age group here is no longer a number? Do you understand why I choose this?
Yes, I understand because it's now grouped.
Exactly. David, can you help me to do the muting?
You can do it. Just click on mute all.
It's all.
I can't find that link again. Okay, I think everyone is quiet. Please, who is speaking? Can you mute your mic?
You can make me a host. I'll mute them all immediately. Then make it
okay. Okay, now let me see if I can. Okay. I thought you're saying something is serious. Trying to.
Or rather, continue. I think the noise is still.
No,
yeah. It's still talking. I don't know. Maybe because
just go to participant. Navigate towards the participant side. Navigate towards the participant side where the participant are. You see mute all.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Mute all of them.
Okay. Yeah. So let me just start afresh because I'm going to edit the video. So let me start afresh from the beginning. Okay, so let me share my screen again. So what I said before was that when you open your SPSS, this is what the screen looks like. Okay, and there are two views here in SPSS. You have the variable view and you have the data view. The variable view and the data view. So the data view is where you will enter all the responses of the participants. That is where you enter all the responses. No, whatever, when they tick your questionnaire, we data view. Okay. The variable view is with the coding for your questionnaire. So, and then we are trying to just get started to analyze a questionnaire. And we said that this age here, even though it is a number, in SPSS, this type of options here are called categorical variables. So because they are grouped together. Okay, so now I'm going to enter them in SPSS so you see how I'm doing it. So like I said, here I said this is question number 1. Okay, then next thing I clicked on these 3 dots here, and then I selected string because it's no longer a number, even though we are seeing numbers there. They are all grouped together, so it's no longer a number. So that's why I'm choosing string. Okay. Then width, just leave it the same way it is. Then label here, inside label, I'm going to just copy this question here. Okay, I'm going to just copy this question. The question itself, okay? And then I'm going to paste it inside the SPSS. So remember that we are working only with the variable view for now. We need to code all the questions. Okay, so the first question here is age. Okay. Now the values, remember that we chose string here. Okay. Now these values are organized into categories. So the first category in that option is 18 to 24. Okay, so I'm going to just copy it. 18 to 24, copy it, then paste it inside here. So now under these values, I'm going to click on these 3 dots. Can you see these three dots here? Now I'm going to click on it, and then I will enter 1 as option 1. Okay. Now I'll paste 18 to 24, and then click on add. Okay. Now next one, I'll come again and copy the second option. Control C, copy. Then that will be option number 2, right? So I'll type in 2 under value. Okay. Then I'll paste it inside and click on add. Okay. Now the next one, I'm going to copy option number 3. That's C. So that's 5 to 44. I'm going to copy it and then come back to my SPSS, the variable view. Then I'll type in 3 and then paste it. Click on add. Okay. Then the fourth option is 4. So 4 is 45 to 49. So I'm going to copy 4 again. Come back to variable view. Then inside label, you click on 40, you type in 45 to 49. Then click on add. Okay. Now the last option there is 50 and above. Okay, so now I'm going to copy 50 and above. Then go back to my SPSS variable view. That's option 5. Then I'm going to paste it under label. Click on add. You see that? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for A, B, C, D, E. Okay. Then I'll click on OK. So let me recap. So what I did now was that I clicked on under these values. I clicked on these 3 dots here. Okay. And then I now started adding them one by one. Okay. So for option A, I used 1. For option B, I used 2. Okay. So assuming that there was another option now, let's say, assuming we have F will now become 6. Okay. And then I will now type in the age group. Okay. So this is just like a recap of what I've done so far. All right. So for the missing, for the column missing, just leave it empty. The area that we'll be interested in again is this column that is called measure. So like I said, there are under measure here, you have because you selected string here, like I told you, string means letter. Okay. So string can be either a nominal variable or an ordinal variable. So I told you that a variable means each of the questions here. So let's say like question number 1 can stand as variable 1. Okay. Question number 2, variable 2. So that means gender is a variable, age is a variable, religion is a variable. Okay. So that's what I mean by variable. When I say variable, so I mean the questions that you're asking. So now this age here, based on the way these options are arranged, it means that this age is a categorical variable. And another name for categorical variable is what? Nominal variable. Okay. So now, because this age has an order in it, what's the difference between nominal variable and ordinal variable? They are all grouped variables, but the only difference is that in ordinal variable, there is a form of ranking in between them. So an example of a nominal variable now will be, if you look at this age group now, you will see that there is a ranking, right? It started from 18, 25. So it's organized in ascending order. So there's a ranking in between them. Okay. So that makes it that this becomes an ordinal variable instead of being a nominal variable. But assuming that this is just maybe like gender, male and female, there is no ranking. If you're saying male, you're either a male or female. You cannot say a male is higher than a female or a female is higher than a male. So because there is no ranking in between them, then that will make gender a nominal variable. So this is for question number 1. Okay. So now let's go to data view and key in the responses for question number 1. So let's say you now have your let's say you have 10 questionnaires and you have filled 10 questionnaires. Okay. So remember that I said that we have 2 views, variable view here and then data view here. So now I'm going back to my data view. Okay, so the data view is used to input the responses from your questionnaire. So when you
Tony, excuse me, sorry. Please, can you accept everybody? Thank you very much.
Okay, sorry. Oh, 8 people. Sorry about that. I've done that. Okay. All right. So now I will now go to my data view so that I can input all the responses. So let's say I have 10 questionnaire. I have 10 questionnaire, and then I need to key in those questionnaires. So when
Laptop.
Okay, so when someone if we remember that we coded option A as 1, okay? So we coded option A as 1, and then option B as 2. If you remember here, option A was coded as 1, right? So if someone ticks 18 to 24, I'm going to come to my my variable view, sorry, my data view this time around. So this is the data view here, this one. So I'll click on it. So someone ticked 18 to 24. So I'll just type in what? 1. Okay. Now the next person ticked 25 to 34 years. So that will be 2, right? Okay. So let me just put in random numbers between 1 to 5. Okay. So these are the distribution of the age groups for 10, or let's do it like 20 participants. Okay, so we have a total of 22 participants here. All right. So now, if you want to check whether what you coded worked, under the data view, look at this button here. You see 1 to A, okay, or A to 1, this box here. So I'm going to click on it now. Let's see what happens. So if I click on that box, you will see that those 1 to 5 have turned into age categories. Okay, so those 1 to 5 that I just typed now, they have turned into age categories. So if I click on this box, this A to 1 box again, it will change into numbers. So eventually, what I've done now is what we call coding. Coding. When you hear coding in SPSS, that is what I've just done. That's as simple as this. All right. So remember, this is the variable view. So the variable view will contain all the equations in your questionnaire, while the data view will contain the answers to all the equations. Okay. So at any point that you can't hear me, please can just raise your hand. I will know. I will respond. All right. So I'm assuming that we are getting it because I'm being very slow. Just to help. Okay. So now we are finished entering all the responses for age. Okay. So now let's go to other questions. So we have question 2. I'll be very fast now. We have question 2. Now, question 2. What type of variable is question 2? Question 2 is saying what is your gender, male or female? So now there is no ranking. Number one is that this is not a number, so it is not numeric. It's a string. Okay. Now, and there are only 2 categories, male or female. And then these 2 categories, they don't have any ranking in between them. So you cannot say male is higher than female or female is higher than male. So automatically this becomes what? A nominal variable. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to option, my questionnaire, my SPSS. Question number 2, I will click on these 3 dots beside this. Can you see those 3 dots? These 3 dots here. Click on it. Now this is now a string. Okay. Click on OK. Now I'll come here and then label. Label is just what you use to recognize the question. So I'll type in gender inside this place. Now I'm going to click on under these values. I'm going to click on these 3 dots here. Then option 1. Now I am the one to decide what I want to code my gender as. Okay. So now I will code, for the purpose of this training, I will code females as 0 and males as 1. And I will code no as 0 and yes as 1. Okay, so here I will say 0. Okay, then I'll code it as what? Female. Then I click on add. Then 1, I'll code it as what? Male. And then click on add. I'm done. Then I'll click on OK. Okay. Next, I'll come back and check my scale. This measure here. What type of variable is male and female? Male and female is a nominal variable. So I will just select nominal variable. Okay. So now I'm going to quickly do questions 1 to 10 because I've already done them before. So I'm going to just copy them and then explain to you why the variables are. Okay, so I've already done question 1 to all. Variables, they're the same. So I'm going to just copy them and then bring them into my new sheet. Oh, sorry. Copy. Then right click and paste. Okay, it looks like I can't even copy, so I have to just make do with what I have. So let me explain.
Yes, you're doing well. You're doing well. Continue.
Okay, so now let's look at religion. Okay, so the same way I explained to you before, religion here, you have religion is the categorical variable. There's no ranking between them, and it's not a number. Okay, so you have a 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so that's exactly what I did here. So if you open religion here, you will see 1 equal to Christianity. So like the same way, okay? And is a nominal variable. So most of the demographics are nominal, but unless you group some numbers, then it's covered now. So many of them, marital status, this one is also important. So marital status, okay, is still a categorical variable or nominal variable because there is no ranking. You cannot say single is greater than married. Now, number of children, none is 0, right? Can you have 1.1 number of children? No, so you cannot have 1.1 or 1.5. Okay, so I will still say based on this because I can see 4 and above. Okay, so 4 and above is not a number, in that sense. So I will still say that this is a categorical variable. Okay, because 4 and above is grouped. So you can have 1, 2, 3. Assuming that is a number, then you will just have dash here. Okay, you have dash. You will not have A, B, C, D. So you will just have dash, and then the participant can enter the number. So because of that, this parity here I'm seeing here is a categorical variable. Okay, so then education, there is no particular ranking. So this is also a categorical variable or a nominal variable. Occupation, the same thing, a nominal variable. Okay. Now, household income, again, numbers were grouped into nominal variables. So you can see this is a category, this is a category, this is a category, this is a category. Okay. So I will say that this is a nominal variable. Okay. Now, this is yes and no. Anything that is yes and no is nominal too, because there is no ranking in between them. Okay. So that was what I just did for questions 1 to 10. They are all nominal variables throughout. You can see everything is almost nominal apart from a few that are ordinal. Okay, so the same way, that's exactly what you do. So now we'll now go to the next section in the questionnaire. We'll go to the next section in the questionnaire, which is section B, knowledge of malaria control programs. So you can see that question number 11.
Please, your screen is not rhyming.
What can you see on the screen?
Exactly.
What
The
can you see?
Excel page.
Excel page. Are you serious? Sorry.
Yeah, it's still showing on the variable view.
Oh, okay. It's okay. I see it. I'm not showing the whole. Oh, okay. Can you see the questionnaire now?
Yes, sir.
So what I said before is that everything here, they're all categorical, basically.
Yes, put it in share all so that it can watch us navigate. Thank you very much. God bless you, sir.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay.
Not everybody can afford the new cha-cha-cha tires now. See, these tires, they can move from Lagos to Aba, from Aba to Abakaliki, comfortably.
Let me Okay, so let's continue. So now the questionnaire. So I said that before, everything from here to here, they are all categorical variables. Okay, so anything yes and no is also categorical or nominal variable. So we go to the next section, section B. Have you heard about malaria? Yes and no. That's still nominal variable. Okay. This one too, your source of information, they're all nominal variables. Okay. Question 13, nominal variable 14, 15, nominal variable 16, yes and no, nominal variable 17, nominal variable, okay? 18, nominal variable 19, nominal variable, because they're all yes and no. So next we go to the attitude of resistance towards malaria control program. So here, this is what we call Likert scale. Okay, Likert is Likert. Okay, so you have 4 points Likert scale, 5 points Likert scale, 7 point Likert scale. Okay, so depending on the one you want. So you can see now that this Likert scale has a ranking inside it. So it's there from this, disagree, strongly disagree, even though I don't like the how it is organized. It's supposed to be strongly disagree last, because that's the negative aspect. So then you have just disagree. So you can see that this scale has a ranking inside it. Okay, so for me to make my life easy, I will give strongly disagree as 1. Okay, then I disagree as 2, undecided as 3, agree as 4, and then strongly disagree as 5. You know, that's in a way that it will make sense to me. I don't want to be confused by giving strongly agree 1. Okay, so now let's go to the SPSS and see how that was done. So in the SPSS, that's question number 20. So now, like I said before, the variable view is for coding the questions, while the data view is for entering the responses. And then I said that if you want to see the actual responses, you can just click on this this button here, this A to 1 and 1 to A button. Just click on it. You will see all your responses. Okay. Then if you click on it again, to change back to numbers. So we are still in coding. So we're in question number 20. So what I did was, to make this thing fast, what I did was that I copied out all the questions in Excel sheets. Okay. See, I copy this in Excel sheet. Now, next, then I from this Excel, I just copied the variables. I'll just Control C. I just right click, copy. This is question number 1 to 10, 1 to 9. Sorry, this is number 2 to number 9 because age is number 1. So to make my life easier, I'll just copy it and then come here, paste. Right click and paste. So you can see it. We just pasting everything inside it. So that's how I pasted all the questions. Okay, the way they are from using Excel. So I first of all copied this into Excel, and then I pasted all the questions here to make my life easier. Okay, so that's what I did. Now we are still in number 20, question number 20. So we said 20 is a Likert scale. How do we code it? So I said under these values here, click on the 3 dots, these 3 dots here, click on it. Okay, so I said 1, so I can just delete this one now. So I can say 1, okay, 1 is strongly disagree. Okay, that's 1, and I click on add. Okay, so that's how I did all of them, and then input all of them. Then I click on OK. So now if you watch, you see that here the scale type is ordinal because they all have ranking. Likert scale is a scale that has ranking. Okay, and it's not really a number per se because it has a ranking in between. Okay, so and then they are grouped together. It has a ranking, so that's why you are seeing ordinal. Everything here is ordinal. So the next one is we are section D. Section D, do you practice any malaria control program? Yes or no, like I said, is a nominal variable. Okay. Now there is this question here, question number 28. Now I said you can tick more than 1. Now, when you see this kind of question, is called a multiple response question. Okay, so and the way you code it is different. This is question number 28. The way you code it is different. So I'm going to code this one now. This particular number 28. Okay, so even though that I did everything in a hurry, so but let's see. So you can see this is number 28 here. Sorry. Now, do you practice any malaria control program? Now, using yes or no, okay, yes is the yes or no, that's a nominal variable, okay? But then you said you can tick more than 1. So that means that you cannot use this method to code this. Even though I did this one I was doing it in a hurry. So let me show you how to code this particular type of so I have to create a new variable now for that number 28. Okay, so let me create a new variable. So I'm going to go down, the last variable here, just for that number 28. So I'm going to name it. So let me name it 28 underscore. So okay, I'm coming 28 underscore. Yeah, so 28 underscore is a multiple response. So let's say multiple response. Multiple response. So now in filling the name for your variable, sorry, can you see my screen? Hello?
Yes. Very clearly. Very clearly. You're doing well.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, sorry. Mute your mic, please. Just mute your mic. Mute your mic, please. Okay, so now I want to type in.
Sorry, Doctor.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so now I want to type in
Yeah, Dr. Tony, your screen is kind of
Is it off again?
Sir, it's not off. Continue.
Somebody have started. Mute your mic, please. Mute your mic. So we don't have enough time. Oh my God. All these people that are doing these things. All right. Okay, so let's continue. So I want to code for number 28. Number 28. So I want to create a new variable here. So I'm going to, under the name. So like I told you, there are rules in naming. Okay, so the rules in SPSS, no spaces. For that name column, no spaces. You can start with underscore. Okay, you cannot begin with a number. So you can see, and that was why it didn't go that first time. So you cannot begin with a number or a special character. You must begin with a letter. Okay, and each variable must be unique. So you cannot have Q1 two times. Okay, you cannot use $sign or dash or slash anywhere under that name column. So these are the rules that I have to follow. So to avoid problem, I always start with a letter. I always start with a letter. Let me close this one. I'm not using this one again. So that's number 28. So I can say multiple response, just multiple underscore response, then underscore 28. So just for me to know that this is number 28. So now, if you want to code for multiple response question, then each of those variables, each of the options will become a variable. So you have A is indoor residual spraying. So I'm going to copy it now separately. Copy, Control C, then come back to here. I'm going to paste it as a separate variable. Okay, so indoor residual spraying. Okay, now is that we want to know how many people that ticked indoor residual spraying in the questionnaire. We want to know how many people that ticked indoor residual spraying. Okay, so this will be a numeric where 0 means the person did not tick it. Okay, and then 1 means that the person ticked it. Okay, so because this is a numeric, I'm not going to put anything here for now. So just everything just remains the way it is. Okay, so then the scale here, this time around, have you seen that because I put numeric, this scale has come out. So whenever you're dealing with numbers, you will see this scale here. So you select scale because this is a number. Okay, and that number eventually will be 010101. So if someone ticks that, I'll type in 1. If someone doesn't tick it, I'll type in 0. That's 1010. Okay, so the next one is insecticide treated nets. So I'm going to copy that one again and then go into here and then create a new variable again for it. Then next one is larval source management. So I'm going to copy it again. Control C, come back here. Control V. Then the next one is use of mosquito repellent. Control C, Control V. So they are all numbers. Okay, so this is scale. So I'm going to just select scale. They are all numbers. Then I'm going to rename all these things. So let me just say this one is indoor. So this is indoor underscore 28. This one is ITN underscore 28. This one is lava underscore 28, just to so I will know where it came from. Then this one is mosquito ms underscore q underscore 28. Okay. So now let's quickly enter this number 28 now in the data view. So now I want to enter the responses for this number 28. Okay, so when you come, I clicked on data view. So remember, variable view is for the questionnaire, and then data view is for the responses. So I'm going to, and you see here that you have question 1, 2, 3 on the horizontal axis. Okay, so now I'm going to go scroll down to my right until I get those variables that I added. So I'm scrolling down to my right. Okay, so I can see indoor 28. Okay, so if someone ticks it now, I'll just type in what? 1. If the person did not tick it, 0. Just like that, 1 and 0, 1 and 0. Okay, so that is how I'm going to code it. So eventually we want to count the ones. By the time we're doing the analysis, we want to count how many ones that are there. Okay, so I'm going to generate fake data now, and then I'll use fake data to fill in all these columns 1 0 1 0 1 0. So for me to do that, I'll just use Excel. But remember, in real life, you cannot do this. You have to use the one in your questionnaire. So for me to do that, I will just use Excel. I will type in equal to. I'll now type in rand between, that's a random number between, okay, that's what I'm typing. So rand between 0 and 1, comma 1, and then close bracket. Okay, so I want it in 4 columns, and then I want 22 rows. So this is 22 rows. So those are my random numbers. I'm going to Control C. So I've copied them, and then I'm going to go back to my Excel and then paste all of them to SPSS and paste all of them. So you can see those are my yes and no. That's if someone ticks indoor, that's 1. If the person didn't tick it, it's 0. So that's how I code for multiple. That's the correct way to code for multiple response question. Okay, as a number. All right, so now we now go to the next one. How many of these malaria? So you can see 1, 2, 3. This is not a number because you can see 3 and above. So it's a category. Okay, so this is also a nominal variable. And it's nominal variable. So that's exactly what I did using fictitious data. So you can see, let's go back to our variable view. So you can see the aware are not, you can see 0 is not aware. So I like you to use 0 for anything that suggests nothing or no. Okay, and then also I use 0 for females too, then 1 for males. But you can use 1 and 2, any number you like. You are the one that is doing the analysis. All right. So now we have completed entering all the data into the Excel. So you have finished coding your questionnaire at this point. So you have your data set that you can use to do your analysis. Okay. So before we do the analysis, I want to also show you something so that you can have that in mind by the time we are extracting. So remember, as a recap, I copied out all the questions in my Excel sheet, okay? And then I went to my variable view, okay, under label. Under label, I pasted all the questions at once so that I can now start coding them, coding the values. So that's the faster way to do it, instead of me starting to type everything one by one. Okay. Then for the questions, to make life easy, I just use question Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, just for the questions. Okay. All right. So, and then we said that if you are seeing a number and that number is grouped, then that becomes a nominal variable. If that group variable has a ranking inside it, that becomes an ordinal variable. Okay. So, and then if it's a number, then you scale. So this is like the summary of what we have done so far. So once you have finished coding, you can leave this, you can just leave it as 8. There's no need. So once you have finished coding your data set, then you are now ready to do the analysis part. So the first part that we use is demographic variables. And I already have a template for you that you can use. It's called demographics. So I like using Excel for anything that is table, then before transferring them into Microsoft Word. Okay. So this is how your variables will look like for social demographics by the time you are extracting them, and that's exactly what we are going to do now. So let's look at the demographic variables. All right. So now let's look at okay, so let's look at the demographic variables now. So that is from question number 1 to question number 10. Those are our demographic variables. Okay. So for you to get your frequency. Okay, sorry, I missed something. Now I have a handout I'm supposed to operate from. So okay, so we have talked about the views. We have talked about the variables. There are four levels of measurement. You have nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. But both interval and ratio are numeric in nature. Okay, so they are all scales. So an interval is something that can be easily that's like it has category and it has ranking, and it can be evenly spaced. So example of interval scale is like your like temperature example. And then another important thing about interval scale is that it does not have a true zero. So it doesn't have a true zero value. No true zero. But that's the most important difference, what we use to know an interval scale. So let's say like temperature. Temperature is measured in degrees Celsius, right? So we have degrees Celsius. So when you say that the temperature is 0 degrees, is that a true zero? No. Okay. So this has a natural zero, or you call it a ratio scale has a true zero. So when you say your weight is that something is weighing let's say 0.1 kg, or when it says that is something is not weight, that's like it doesn't have any weight, it's 0 kg. So that 0 is the final bus stop. So an example of a ratio scale is weight. Anything that has a true zero value and that is a number, okay, then that is a ratio scale. Okay, so weight has a true zero value. Length, you cannot say my length is -2. No. Okay, so length is a ratio variable. Interval is something that does not have a true zero. So it can have minus. Okay. So something like temperature. If you're measuring temperature can have -2. So that means it doesn't have a true 0 value. Okay. So but both interval and ratio are all numeric in nature. So that's why in SPSS you don't you just see scale for both interval and ratio variables. Okay. So like I said, in SPSS, this is scale. You can see interval scale in SPSS. This is scale that you see that. Ratio scale, scale. Ordinal scale is ordinal. The nominal scale is nominal. Okay. We have done. So the next thing we need to know before we start the analysis is how do you summarize? So now that you have seen the four major scales, which are compressed into 3 in SPSS. By 3, I mean nominal, ordinal, and scale. So these two, interval and ratio, we are combining into one scale because they are all numbers. Okay. So how do you summarize data? So if you have anything that is a nominal variable, you can summarize it using frequency. That means you can frequency. That means count and percentage. Okay, so that's how you can summarize nominal variables. Then you can depict them using a bar chart or a pie chart. Okay. Now, if you want to summarize a numeric variable, that is either interval or ratio, you can use mean, standard deviation, etc. and etc. Okay, so mean, standard deviation, all those mathematical stuffs because they are all numbers. Okay, then you can represent them using a histogram. You can also represent them using a scatter plot. Okay, so those are just for you to know, so that when you want to do your analysis, now you now know the particular one to use to summarize that data. So for our social demographic variables, you cannot come and start using histogram or start using to summarize it. So you have to select from one of these, okay, because they are all categorical. Somebody's mic is not muted again. No,
Go ahead.
Okay. So now we know that for nominal variables, we can use frequency, you can use bar charts, pie charts, anything that has grouping inside it. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Okay, so I'll leave this one for now. This ANOVA collection. Just leave it for now. So let's do that in SPSS. So now this is a place that you can jot if you want to. You can jot, especially if you don't have SPSS yet. Okay, so let's do our analysis now. So we want to analyze question 1 to 10. Okay, so what we do is you go to analyze. So let me quickly point out the major ones that you might be using, that might encounter. Under this analyze, you will need this descriptive statistics. And under this descriptive, the first 4, you need to know how to use them. Frequency, descriptive, and cross tabulation, because you will use them a lot. Okay. Then the next one that you will use more often is compare means. Anything around ANOVA, t-test, they're all here. Okay. Then if you are doing more advanced research, like anything that involves regression analysis, then you will use this tab and this tab. Okay. So SPSS has many ways of doing something. So you can see all these ones, but these are the ones that you do. 1, 2. If you are more advanced, if you know about regression, you can use this one. And then there's another one again. You will use, remember we said something about multiple response variables. So you will need this multiple response, this menu here. Anytime you are dealing with multiple response. So those are the ones that you will encounter when you are analyzing questionnaire. So remember, correlation is here, regression is here. You see the same thing here too. Okay, so I think if you can learn these ones that I've pointed now, I think you are good to go. You can learn descriptives, then mean, at least these two. Then for some kind of research, you might learn regression analysis. If you understand the theory, you can learn that. And then the last one is multiple response, at least you should know them. All right, so let's do the analysis. So for the age, so now we have entered all the data. We just go to analyze. Descriptive statistics. When it comes to the descriptive, you have two options here, majorly. You have either frequency or you have another descriptive again under it. So let's look at frequencies. That's the simplest one. Just click on frequencies. Then, so now these are all your questions, okay? These are all your questions. So I think I learned something from this this one I did now. So next time, if I'm to do this again, under this age, before I write age here, I will just type in Q1. Because assuming I have Q1, it's very easy for me to locate my question. I will not be wondering which one is which. Okay, so I will just type in Q1, and then when I'm doing analyze descriptive statistics, then frequencies. Can you see? I'll see Q1 here. Are you seeing how very easy it is? So that would be good practice to start your labels with the equations. Okay. So let me remove everything that is inside this piece. Okay, so we have the first 10 questions. So I'm going to select all of them now. So you can do it by clicking one. Just like click this one, click on the small arrow to move it into this space. Click on gender, click on the small arrow, religion, small arrow, click on it, ethnicity. So you can do it one, or if you want to do it at the same time, you can just click on the first one and then hold down your shift key, or hold down your control key, then select 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So those are my demographics, and I think they're all categorical nominal variables. So I'm going to move all of them here. And then I'm going to click on statistics. So like I said, what are the important statistics I need? Since they are categorical, do I need no mean? Okay. Categorical variables, there is nothing that is important to me here. I can select mode, mean, median, but I don't think it should be of any use for me. So I can just leave it. Let me look at charts. Is there anyone that's interested to me? If you want to generate bar charts, you can select it from here. Okay, so let's say, assuming that you are doing your questionnaire, you want to get the bar charts, I can select it from here, and then, but I don't need it anyway. So just click on continue. The most important one that's for me is, you see this arrow here, this checkbox here, display frequency tables. That's the one that is the most important. Everything here is extra. Okay, it's an icing on the cake. So for me, to keep things simple, I can just remove, I don't need the charts now. So I need only the frequency tables. So I'm going to click on OK. So this is where the template I've given you now will start working. Okay. So now I've gotten our frequencies now. See how beautiful it is. Assuming that I put in question 1, question 2 before. So you see, this is the reason why I had to copy out the questions themselves. You know, like I told you before. Just a minute. So I told you before that I had to copy out the questions one by one, so that when I'm generating my tables, it will be very easy for me. Okay, I don't need to start copying and copying again. So that's why I just wrote all the questions the way it is here. Okay, so now that I have my table, when you do your analysis, SPSS will produce the results in a different document called output. Okay, so now this is what it looks like for me. So now you can copy this the way it is and just copy and then open your Microsoft Word and paste it here. But I don't like I don't like doing tables on Microsoft Word. Now I'm trying to start formatting all these things. So to make life easy for me, I'll just use Excel and extract what I want. Okay. So I'll just delete all this. So I can just paste it inside Excel like this, the way it is here. You can see. If I paste it here, I can easily remove. I don't need valid percent. I don't need all this cumulative. Okay, so I just need. I will remove this column here. So for me to remove this column, what I did was I clicked on the heading. Okay, then hold down my control key again, and then click on this one, and then right click, and then click on what delete. You see how easy it is. Same thing here. Click on this again, delete. So I can now type in age group here. Then you see all these borders. I'm going to highlight the whole table, everything, and then come to this click on this small arrow here. There are different borders, so I want to select all borders so that it will put it for me. See that? So by doing that, I've saved myself the stress of formatting this thing in the Microsoft Word. Okay, I can just copy it like this, and then go back to Microsoft Word and paste it to become very neat and tidy. Okay, so that's like a small tip for working with tables. All right. So, but now the template I'm saying is that instead of me to start doing all these things one by one, for example, if you are doing article publication, this is of course you know that this is not the way that your table will look like. Okay, so your table will look more. It will look simpler. So this is like a kind of template. So now what I did was to get all the variables and then put frequency here in one column, and then all the percentages in one column. Okay. Now I want to copy out the one for age. That's the one I want now. So I'll go back to my Excel and my SPSS. And then, so this is age here. Okay. So I'm going to double click on it. I want the ones I want to copy, just copy just click on it once, then hold down your shift key, and then click on the end where I want it to end. So I want it to end on total. Okay, so click on it like this, then Ctrl+C to copy. Then come back to my Excel sheet, and that was how I arrived here. Paste in Excel. Okay, so that's number one. Now, next one is religion. Again, the same thing. So you can just do whatever that works for you. For me, it's for me to be creating different tables. I can just copy out what I need. Double click on this one, then click on female and then hold down your shift key, then click on the end where you want it to stop. I want to stop at this place 100, so click on it here. Then right click, copy, then come back to your Excel and then paste it. So that's what I did for all the categorical variables. So now that they are in Excel, if you want to do your charts or whatever, you can do it much better than SPSS. You know, SPSS is not very fantastic when it comes to, you know, like designing. So if I want to use a pie chart now, you can use it in your Excel from here. You can see that I didn't highlight this percentage because I don't need it. Excel can give me that. So once I highlight it, I have my this. I can just click on insert. So where is it now? Insert, or is it data? Forgotten where this option is for charts. Okay. Where is it now? Draw formula. I can't find this. I don't know where it is now. So, but basically, you can turn this into a pie chart or into a bar chart much better in a more beautiful manner than SPSS. So, I think that is all for now. So this is what I did here. So now if you are publishing a paper, all you need to do is to just remove all the spaces in between them. Just, you have one long table. You can see that frequencies appeared only once. So you don't need to do different tables, just one table for all of them. Now, when it comes to the one of yes or no, this is how you can represent it, okay? Just put your yes or no on the row. Okay. So this is all for, this is how I arrived at this whole place for the demographics up to here. I think it stopped at this place. It stopped as income, household income. That's where it stopped for demographics. Okay, so having said that, if you still want to copy it from here, it's the same thing too. Go to your analyze, go to descriptive statistics, frequencies again, then move in all the variables that you want. Then go to charts. If you want to display all those things in bar chart, it's the same thing. Either bar chart or pie chart. And then if you want frequency, just click on continue and then okay. So SPSS will give you all the bar charts that you want. So you can see that it's not that beautiful. It's not that beautiful. If you want, you can double click on this whole bar chart and then on this, and then clicked on the bar chart again, and then this thing came out. So I can change the color if I don't like the color. I can change it to whatever I like. Then, so for me, I think Excel is much better in doing these things faster. So the earlier you get your data into Excel, the better. So, and then I think I'm done. I'm happy with this one. Okay, then you can copy it if you want. Yeah, so I think I'm okay with this one. Just click on save, Control S, and then close. Sorry. So I can just copy this, right click, copy. See that? And then go to your Microsoft Word and then paste it. So, and then once you paste it, you can see it's very big. So I can just reduce the size. Reduce the size, make it smaller like this. So now you can see that this is in terms of frequency. So you can also select the one for percentage. But Excel can do this much more better, and it will also integrate with Microsoft Word. So let me just delete this. So let's go to the next one. We are done with frequency table. Now, the next one is knowledge. Where is it here? Yeah, this is the next one. So all this from question number 11 to question number 19, we are trying to assess the level of knowledge of malaria control programs. So basically, we will still have the same thing again, like I did before, because these are all, many of them are, they're all categorical variables. Basically, they're all categorical variables. So categorical variables are the easiest to get, is just percentage and frequencies. So you go back to your SPSS again, go to analyze, descriptive statistics. You can use frequencies, or if you like, again, you can just click on descriptives. They'll still give you the same thing again. So go back again, go to options. Okay, so under descriptives, there is no chart. So I don't need mean for categorical variable. I don't need minimum. Yeah, you can if you like, if your research is you want to know maybe whether the maximum number of participants, you can choose all this, but you don't need all this. So basically, the only thing I will need here is the frequencies. So go back to analyze, descriptive, frequencies. Then I'm going to remove everything here. So I'm going to highlight all of them, Control A to highlight, then move them back, then select the next question. So you see why I said you should put in Q1, Q2, Q3 at the beginning of here, so it should be easier. So now I need to start finding which one is number 11. I think it started from here. From here, I don't know again. So you see that. So to avoid that, it's good that you just start this from number 11 to 19, Millennium Development Goal. So number 11, that's from here to Millennium Development Goal. Where is it? From here. Let me move this one. Millennium Development Goal. Household income is now more. So I'll move this one too. Yeah. So this time around, I will now click on statistics. Do I need mean? Do I know these ones? I don't need them for now. So charts. What I might need, if you like a pie chart, you can use pie charts. You can use histogram. So yeah, I can choose that I want just percentages for my pie chart. But the most important one is to check this display frequency tables. That's the most important one. Yeah. Okay. So having done that, you have your pie charts. Okay. You have your pie charts already. So this is your agenda here. But I'm looking at, I want the tables, not just the pie chart. Okay, so from here, I can see that I have 50 participants total, and I didn't have any missing value. In my questionnaire, I didn't have any missing value at all. Everything was 0, 0, 0. So now you can see that, have you heard about malaria? So you can copy all these ones, just copy them into Excel, and you'll be fine. So let me see what I can copy everything at once. Just click on, I'll click on this one, then hold down my control key, click on the next one, hold down my control key, click on this one again. Okay, so now if you watch by the left, can you see that the first 3 items here have been highlighted, right? So because these are all tables, can you see the heading here, frequency tables on the left here? Okay, so now I can just, instead of me to start scrolling down, I can just click on the first one here, hold down my shift key, and then click on the last item here on the left. Sorry, just click on the first one, hold down my control key, then select the other ones, just like that, without scrolling down on my screen. I'm selecting all the tables at once. Then I'm going to copy them, Control C to copy. Then I'll come to my Excel, which is the one I prefer. Just paste them here in my Excel. Control V, all of them pasted at once. You see that? Then I can remove the columns I don't need. I don't need valid and delete it. Just remove it. Delete. See that at once. Then you can now use Excel to now design the column chart and the bar chart. All those ones you can always do them. Okay. So next one. Next question is so I think we are good with categorical variables. So let's try Likert, which is the other one now. I think we are good with all these categorical stuff. So now to analyze Likert, you can pay attention very well of this. So for you to analyze Likert, remember it is an ordinal scale, ordinal variable, because it has ranking and it's not a number. So, and this question started from question number 20. So this is 19. So we now have attitude. So question number 20, from 20 to 26. I don't know why this is just skip. So from 20 to 26, that's where we have Likert scale. Okay. So let's go to our SPSS to analyze the Likert scale 20 to 26. So let me just put in 20 is this one. So let me just put in Q1 inside there. So in Q20, so I'll know where I'm starting from. And then Q26. Q26. Good. So that's my Likert scale. They're all strongly agree and strongly disagree. So now for us to analyze our Likert scale, so let me close this output window. Like I told you, I'm done with this. I've copied them into my Excel. So that I'll just close it. I don't need to save it. If you like, you can save, but I'm not saving it. So let's go to for Likert. So analyze descriptive statistics. Again, you go to your frequencies. Now I'll click inside this place, press Ctrl A to highlight everything, then press this arrow to move them back. Now I'm going to look for number 26 to number 26. I can see number 26 here. So I'm going to hold down my Control key to select everything inside 26. From number 26 to till I reach the next one. Where is the other one? That I passed it. Number 26. Okay, sorry, from number 20 to 26. Okay, this is my 26. So I'm going up till I reach number 20. So now I'm going to move it inside here again. So basically what I need is just the frequency table. I don't need any other thing for now. Okay, I can, like, since there's a Likert scale. Hello, are you guys still with us? Are we still participating in this?
Yes,
sir.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Someone is sleeping.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
I hope nobody is sleeping. They can't be sleeping. They are very great students.
I'm trying to be very slow. There are many things to teach, but there's not of rushing to teach and then not getting.
Yes. They are really impressive.
Okay. So So now I'm going to, I need, for Likert scale, okay, maybe I may need the mean and median, at least. Mean and median, but let's go. So continue. Then the most important one is to display this. I don't need any charts. I don't need any bar chart or whatever. So click on continue and then click OK. So now we have our this thing. So now let's see what we have. So I'm going to check. You see this frequency table here. Once I click on it, this ash background comes on this. If I click on this one, you see the ash background comes on Q20. So now I'm going to copy everything. Hold down my control key, copy, copy, copy. Just click on them one by one. Then Control C to copy. Then go to your Excel. And then let me open a new listing or a new column. So go back again to paste it here. Okay. So, and then I'm going to remove the valid and cumulative because I don't need them. Delete. So you can see that Excel makes life easy. Then I'm going to remove okay, this valid, I'll just delete it. There's no just delete it. Okay, so now I've gotten my frequency and cumulative for the Likert. So, but this is just the starting point. Okay. So now we are going to. So at least with this, you will be able to write how many percentage of people that agreed and strongly disagreed. But this is not the meat of the matter. So we're going to go to the main thing. So you need to pay very close attention to what I'm going to do now. So this Likert, if you watch, you know that where is our question? So now this Likert scale is measuring something in this questionnaire. Is measuring attitude, right? So the whole essence of this Likert scale is to give us a summary figure of what is going on, what is the attitude of these people, the population in question, about malaria control program. So yes, I've gotten the frequencies, but then that is not enough. So if I look at my categorical variables, can attitude of male and female, can attitude change based on gender? It's possible, right? Yes. Can attitude change based on age? It's possible, right? Okay, so now that means that we have two questions to answer. Does the attitude of male and female change based on gender, or does it change based on age? These are possible research questions. Or does it change based on ethnicity? So depending on whatever you are writing. So, but let's finish with the Likert scale first. So we have gotten the frequencies, okay, and then we have also gotten the mean. Remember, here now we are seeing that the mean for this question here is 2.72, and then the median is 3.0. So how do we know which one to use to summarize the attitude? Are we going to use mean, or are we going to use median? So that is where the question of normal distribution comes in. So you're going to consider, is your data normally distributed, or is it not normally distributed? So a normally distributed data will have this shape. So it will have just like this. If you plot your histogram, you have this shape, okay? So it is not going to be something like this, like with one tail like this, or the other way around. something, if you plot it and then you're having something like this with a long tail, so that means the distribution of your data is tilted to one side, is skewed. Okay, so if your data is not normally distributed, then you have to use median to summarize your Likert scale data. If your data is normally distributed, then you use mean to summarize it. So that's the catch. So let's see. So, but how do we now know whether our data is or is not normally distributed? How do we know? So that's where we have some tests to perform for us to determine the normality of that. So in my guide, I said that, okay, so this is where we are now, when the data is normally distributed and when it's not normally distributed. Okay, so there are some tests that you can do to know if your data is normally distributed. So the first one is the Kolmogorov test, and then the second one is the Shapiro test. These two. There are other ones too. You can also use your histogram to confirm the normality of your distribution. So let's see how we can actually do these things based on what we have. So if we go back to our SPSS again, so this outputs, I think I'm done. I've not copied it, or have I? So let me just copy this one up to 26. So Ctrl C, then come back to my Excel, and then open a new, or just beside it, Ctrl V, and then paste it. So I'm done with that for now. So now let's check whether is it normally distributed or is it abnormally distributed. So we go back to your SPSS, and then you go to analyze again, descriptive statistics. Okay, so you have your descriptives here. So I'm going to move out all these things here. Then I'm going to select those Likert scales that we saw from number 20 to number 26. I'm holding down my shift key to select it. Then move it here. Go to options. Now under options, we are okay. So I can see we have kurtosis and skewness here. So I can select that, but I cannot see my two tests that I want. Okay, so I'm going to close this one. That's not what I want. Then I'll go to analyze again. Descriptive, let me check frequencies, whether I'll see it, anything like that. Statistics, can I see my test? I can see skewness, kurtosis, but I can't see the other ones. So let me check the other one. Analyze, descriptive, explore. Then plots, I can see statistics. Okay, it's not here. I check on plots. So under plots, I can see my histogram here. I can see my stem leaf. So I'll tick it. So I'll tick these two. I can see normality plots with test. So if you click on this normality plot with test, it will give you the plots that you need. So I'm going to click on continue. So now what am I testing for? So I'm going to remove this satisfaction score. Just remove it. Then go back to 20 to 26. 20 to 26. As it's 26 here. Then 20 to 20. Then put it as a dependent. Then maybe I think that's all. Plots. I have my histogram. I have my stem and leaf plot, and then I have my normality plot. Okay, so let's click on continue, and then we are good to go. Is there anything again that I don't have? Yeah, nothing else again. So click on OK. So let's see what we have here. Okay, so here you can see that we have our percentages here, but then let's look at the distribution. Let's use the simplest one. The simplest one is your QQ plot. That's the simplest one here. Okay, that you can interpret easily. So if you look at this QQ plot, you will see that, oh, where is it? Yeah. So you will see that these data points are very close to the diagonal line. They are not far away. Okay. So if your data is not normally distributed, the data points will be very far away from this diagonal line. So that is one way to determine the normality. So because this data set was randomly generated by the computer, so you can see that here it is normally distributed based on this. So let's look at the other ones. Now there is this the trended normal QQ plot, but I would say you should just leave it because the one that is very easy to look at, that you can understand easily, is this one here, the normal QQ plot. Okay. Now, if you remember, you can also look at your. Let me just recap before I. So what I did was I went to analyze, went to descriptive, went to explore. Explore, that's where I went to. Okay. Then I selected all the questions I want. I moved them inside this place. Now I went to plots. Once you select normality plots, it's going to plot both the QQ plot and the histogram. Those two. It's going to plot them. Okay. Then the icing on the cake is you can look at the histogram and then look at the stem and leaf plot. But the one I like using is the QQ plot. At least it's very simple to interpret. Okay, so that's exactly what I did now. So now I can see that my data set is normally distributed. Let me scroll down. Then is there any other thing again? Interpreting skewness, I don't think you may need all that for now. But if you want to interpret your skewness, you just take the skewness data, like this is 0.3, this is minus 0.37, you divide it by the standard error. And then if you get anything above 3, then your data is not normally distributed. Both the skewness and the kurtosis. So skewness means that your data is one-sided. So like if this is the center, this is the mean, and then most of your data they are just like this, like just so something like this. This is you have 3 lines here. So your data is something like this. If you plot it, so this is your mean, okay, and then this is your median, and then this is your mode. So on a normal day, your mean is supposed to be at the center. The mean of the data set, assuming it's normally distributed, your mean is supposed to be at the center. But when your median and your mode are now shifting the data set to one side, that is called skewness. So in skewness, here is the right. So you assume that a human being is looking at you, and the right hand of the person is at this side. So this is positive skewness, and then this is negative skewness on the left. Okay, so that is skewness. Then for kurtosis means that normally your data is supposed to be this is the normal distribution. So when your data is too flat, flat like this. That is negative kurtosis. When your data set is too peaked like this, that is positive kurtosis. So a normal data set is supposed to have 0, like the value should be 0. Okay, so let me just show you what it looks like. So, but then all these ones I'm saying now is just an icing on the cake. The main thing that you need is your histogram and a QQ plot. That's the main thing that you need for you to determine the normality, the distribution of your data sets. Yeah. So, having said that, let me go back to my notes and show you again to recap. Okay, so like I said, this is what your QQ plot looks like. Right? Where is it? Sorry. Where are my stuffs? Okay, so now you can see. So when I say positive skew, this is what it looks like. So on a normal day, your mean and your median and your mode supposed to be at the center. That's for a normally distributed data set. Okay, so but when it shifts to one side, so that you can see here now that the mode is at the extreme. That's, I mean, your mean is no longer at the center. So if your mean is at the right extreme, then that is positive. Sorry, if your mean is if the center of your data is towards the right, then that is positive skewness. So you can see here now, the mode is now in the center. So that's a problem. That's negative. That's a positive skew data. Then if your mode, sorry, if your data is skewed to the left, now that is negative skew. So that means the data is not normally distributed. So in that sense, you will see that here, the median is the measure of central tendency. Can you see that this median is at the center here? So that's why you have to use median for data that is not normally distributed. Whether it's skewness, you can see here, both positive and negative skew, the median is at the center. You see that? But when the data is normally distributed, then you can use the mean is the best choice, okay? When the data is normally distributed. So that's the most important thing you need to know. Okay, so if you're asked to justify why you use the mean or why you use mode, yeah, that is the answer. Okay, so where is my QQ plus? Okay, I can't find it. It's not here. Anyway, I think I've explained enough for that. So now we have seen that our data is normally distributed, okay, from our plots here. So now that means that we can use mean to summarize the Likert scale. We can use mean to summarize the Likert scale. So let us do that now. So we're going to calculate the mean for each of them. So analyze, descriptive, frequencies, and I've already inputted the data already. Okay, so or let me just, for the sake of those that are just joining, let me go back. So we are looking at Likert from question number 20 to question number 26. So I will hold down my shift key and then click on the last, hold down my control key and then select the variables I want, and then click on this arrow, then go to statistics. So this time around, I want just the mean because because the data is normally distributed. So I want just the mean, okay? So then I click on OK, and then go to charts. Okay, I don't need the charts now, just the mean and then the frequency only. That's all I need in this case. So click on OK, and then you have your tables again here already. Okay, so I'm going to now do listen attentively. I want my my strongly agree and strongly disagree. So I can just move my data around, like just double click on this and then I'm going to click on pivots and then transpose rows to column. So you can see now my data is now arranged. Strongly agree, disagree, undecided, agree, and strongly agree. So now I have my percentage here, and then I have my frequency. So the only thing I need from this table is just my percentage and the frequency. I don't need cumulative, all these value percent, and so I just need these first two. So I'm going to just copy the first two columns, and that's it. Okay, so I'm going to copy them and then go back to my Excel again, and then put them here. Frequency and percentage. Okay, then I'm going to copy the heading, Ctrl C, and then put it as my heading. Okay, so I think I'm thinking that the other view is much better. I mean, we are the song like, I mean, the way it is before, it looks more organized than the way I'm doing it now. So I'll just reverse it. So just double click on it and then go to pivot again. I'll just click on transpose rows columns again to come back to one. Okay. So I'm going to just copy out all these things now and then move them into Excel. So this is the first one. And I can see that when I click it, I'll check the one that is highlighted. So I've clicked it now, and then I'll check on my left which one is highlighted here. So I can see it's here. So I'm going to click on this one. Hold down my control key, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Control C, then go to my Excel, delete all this, and then go to paste. Control V. Okay, then I can just remove one column, 2 columns from here. So I'm going to remove this valid and cumulative. So that's why I think this is much better the way it is in Excel. So just remove it and then delete. Okay. So now I hope we are still here. Are we still here?
Yes, we are still here.
Yes, I was still
We're
here.
getting tired, are we? We're getting tired, I know. So let's see whether I can just round up. At least maybe we might stop at Likert.
Yes, you've done very well, honestly.
I don't have overloading this thing. We'll just stop at Likert.
Yes, and I'm sure the video is going to be shared across to them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's just finish this now. So where is it? So this is the table I'm trying to achieve. All this is I'm doing now. This is the final table I'm trying to achieve. So you can just have this as a template. So like a table that will have all the questions, then I will have only one strongly agree, one strongly disagree, then I'll copy out the mean and standard deviation. So that's what I want to do now. So that's what I'm aiming to achieve. So where is it now? Where are my listing? So I've gotten my frequency and my percentage. So this is the reason why I wanted to transpose it from SPSS immediately. But right now I'm stuck because I've already copied them out. So what do I do? What am I going to do now? Since I'm already in Excel. Is there anything like transpose row to column? There is, but I don't know where it is honestly, because it has been long I used this whole Excel stuff. So what do I do? Maybe I can just use my SPSS again and then do it in the way I want. I was thinking that this way will work. So to make things faster for me, I'll transpose them on SPSS and then copy them out into. So this is the first one here. I click on it once, and then click on pivot, transpose rows to column. Same thing with this one. Again, click on it. So double click, then this pivot thing will appear. Click on pivot, transpose rows to column. Again, double click, pivot, transpose rows to column. It's good that you just have a template so that you'll be fast. Transpose rows to column again. Then this one, double click, pivot, transpose rows to column. So I think we're good to go. I've copied everything now. Now I'm going to copy them in Excel. So click on one, hold down your control key, click on two, all of them. So Control C, then come back to my Excel. All these things here, I'm going to delete them. Then just delete. So now paste it. Good, you can see it's more organized now. Okay, so I have my these ones. I just delete all these ones here. Frequency. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is to just copy in the heading. So here I have my frequency and my percentage already. So I can just take this heading here, cut it out, and then expand this my stuff here, and then maybe paste it or paste it somewhere here. Okay, now this percentage is going to enter, is going to join with this one. So I want to put it on the side. So I want to compress everything. So I have 16%. Okay, then you have 18%. You see that? So that's what you just do. Then you have 20%. Then you have 24%. Then you have 22%. So, and then total is 50, then in brackets, 100%. So that's how you arrive. So once I'm done with that, then I'm going to delete this percentage. I don't need it again. Then I'm going to do, this is frequency. So I'm going to put in percentage in brackets to show that my percentage is in brackets, okay? Then this one, Control C or Control X to cut it off, then paste it inside this place. See that? Then I will delete all these ones here. So I have, so it is now organized. The same thing with, so I can just copy all these things. I don't have strength to start like, what's the fastest way to do this? I want to just put in percentage. Then same thing here. So you just put in all your percentages in brackets to show that this is percentage, and then this one too, percentage, and then this one percentage. So that's what the template looks like. You get access to it after this training. Then you practice, you start practicing how to do it yourself. Okay, so my first question is settled. All right, so then I want to do the same thing again for the other ones. Okay, so that's how I arrived there. I arrived to this place. Yes, now the next thing is my table has not finished. Remember, I did mean. Okay, so you have your mean, and then you now have your decision. Finally, you need to make a decision on the attitude. Remember, this is like attitude of staff towards attitude towards malaria control program. That is what you are trying to assess. So now I'm going to get my mean for this column and then put it inside here. So let's go back to our SPSS to get our mean. Remember, we already have it, so we want to look for it here. So where's our mean here? Malaria control program. Let's go up. This number 20. Okay, let's check it down. Should be somewhere. Oh, okay, I've reached the end of the document. Where's our mean? We selected the mean that time. Yeah, okay, see it here. This is the mean, okay? So again, you can see now I don't like the way this is arranged because my Excel sheet is arranged as this. Strongly agree, disagree. So I'm going to turn things around again so that it will fit. So I'm going to double click on it once, then click on it once again, then click on pivots, transpose rows to column. So now I have my mean in a vertical line here, so I can just copy it. Hold down my shift key, and then copy everything. Proceed to copy. Then go back to Excel, and then I want to paste my mean. Oh, sorry. Undo. Then Control V. Why is it merging my cells? Okay, so I'm going to merge. So it's good to have knowledge of at least a basic knowledge of Excel if you're doing all these things. So I have my mean here already for all the variables. So this one, I'm going to copy this one, Control C, then paste it inside here. Control V, sorry. Double click on it, then Control A to highlight, Control C to copy, then paste this one here. That's the second one. Then I'll just do frequencies only now. So let me do frequencies. Okay. So total. Okay, maybe I'll just do the percent, then later you can add it. So I'll just do the percent, put the percent under it. At least you just you know that you know what you are doing. Undo. Sorry. Frequency undo. So I'll just to be fast. I need to be fast. So to avoid wasting time, I'll put my percentage here under it. Percentage. Later I can type it. At least I know that's this percentage for the one above it. The next one is this one. Double click. Then Control A to highlight. Control C to copy. Come up again. Click it. Put it here. Number 20. Then copy. Where is it? What's the topic here? Malaria program Q20. So I'm going to copy. What's going on? Attitudes. Michael. What's going on? Is this the same question? Okay. So Q20. That's this one. Then strongly agree. Okay, so this is the frequency here. So let me just copy this one. This one is it wasn't transposed, so I have to transpose it myself. You cannot do that in a match cell. What's going on here? Well, this Q20. Let me copy it from my SPS. Q20. Oh, this one. Okay, so I think I didn't transpose this one, so that's why. Let me transpose it. So double click, then pivot, transpose rows to column. So now I have my frequency. So just let me copy it from here directly. Control C, then come to my Excel where I want to put it. I want to put it under, I want to delete all these ones. That's why. I want to delete all these ones. I've done these ones. So delete. So now, okay, there's a match cell here. So I need to break the cell. They are matched together. So I click on it and then click on this to remove it. So to avoid it to break. So this Q20 here. Then next one is the frequency. So I'll copy this from SPSS and then come here and paste it. This is 100. And then, okay, so then next one is the percentage. The same thing again. I click on this percentage, hold down my control key, and then select up to here. Control C, come here. This is the percentage again. Now here, these cells are merged. Yeah, these cells are merged together. So I need to break it again. You can see they are merged together. So I'm going to click on this merge and center to break it. So you need a little bit of Excel knowledge. Excel knowledge is important. So I've gotten this one. Then next one is Q20 chemicals. Okay, spell. So again, copy, Control C, come here, double click it, paste. I think this is better. At least you know, yeah, you know what I'm copying. So now I'm going to copy two of them at the same time. Okay. So Control C, come back. Now here is this cell is merged again. So I need to break it again. You can see it's merged together. So I'm going to break it by clicking this merge and center. Then paste. Oops. Sorry. Wow. Okay. This frequency. So I'm going to delete this frequency and percentage here. Then I'm going to copy all this and then paste it inside here. So this one is my percentage. Percent. And so just like that, that's how you do it. So this video will not be prolonged. Okay, so that's what I did until I reached so that's what I did until I reached this place. Responses, demographics. Yeah. So where is it? Likert. Okay, so that's how you do it until you enter everything. You compress everything like that. Now the next step is, remember, you have gotten all your mean, right? you have gotten all the means from the table. Now, next thing is you need to make a decision on what is favorable and what is not favorable. So let's say you need to make a decision on whether the knowledge level is low or the knowledge level is high. For example, some people do low, moderate, high. But to keep things simple, I prefer to just do 2 categories so that I'll be able to use them in my chi-square analysis. So so I'm assuming that I've done all these things, I've prepared everything. Then now I know that I know that is mean that I need. Okay, and remember, if you're reporting your mean, you need to report the standard deviation together. You don't report only mean like that without standard deviation. So that's why I reported standard deviation here. So now I need to make a decision. This mean, how will I interpret my data? So there are 2 ways. Some people argue that you can use, I think I've seen some authors, they categorize it. Okay, so they divide a scale of 5 into equal scales, just like I've done it like this. So anything between 1 to 1.8 is strongly disagree. Anything between 1.81 to 2.6 is disagree, and just like that. Okay, until 5. So I've seen this type in research, but there's one I want to show you that I think is also okay. I think it's much better and makes sense to me. So instead of me to just base my decision on an arbitrary scale, like instead of using this scale to take my decision, I would rather use what I call the weighted mean. So the weighted mean means that now we have gotten all the means for each of the scale, and there are 7 items on this scale: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So what I'm going to do is to add up all these mean, add them together, and then divide it by 7 to get the average weighting. Because instead of me to analyze the population based on, like, I'm basing my analysis on just on the scale of strongly agree to strongly disagree, I rather use the population, my study population, and do the weighting. So this helps me to consider the opinions of my study population rather than just using this scale like this, the way it is that many people do. So, but I think I've seen people publish this like this, and then some people also prefer to use. So there are a lot of arguments about it, but I think you have to choose what's the one that you like. So for me, I think that this one makes more sense to me, using the weighting. Okay, so what I did was to just add up all this mean. I added them up. Then I divided them by 7 to get my weighted average. Of course, you know that assuming that you're using this scale now, you can see that this 2.91 here will fall under undecided as your cutoff point. You see that? But because I considered the population and then I weighted them, I used them in the weighting. That has brought down the middle number, the cutoff point for me, for the Likert scale to be 2.91. And this is based on the distribution, not just based on an agreed cutoff points ab initio. You see that? So now anything that is more than 2.91, I will see it as what? Being favorable. Anything that is below 2.91, I will see it as what? Being unfavorable or low perception. You can say low perception, high perception, favorable attitude, unfavorable attitude. So depend on whatever you want to call your own. Okay. So, and that will now help me to do your chi-square, assuming that you want to check whether does the attitude of people change based on gender? You see that you have just two categories. I'm not going to be stressing my head with whether it's strongly men strongly disagree, most men. So, but if I divide it into two, it makes my life easy. So if I'm doing your chi-square test, you have 2 by 2 tables. So you have 2 categories, and then with gender, male or female. All right. So that's how we arrived at the decision, making a decision based on your Likert scale. Okay. So this is this is the simple way. So I think we are tired. I don't want to come and start teaching you again how to do this same thing using SPSS. I think Excel is simpler enough. Just add all these things. How do you add them? Simple. Just press equal to, then sum, bracket open, then select the first cell, hold down your shift key, and you then use the arrow key and go up to number 1, then press your closing bracket and then enter. You see that you get your sum, and then you divide it by 7. That means you press equal to again this cell divided by 7. And that's how we got 2.914, which we rounded down to 2.91 as our cutoff point. You see that? So I think it's easier doing it like this than doing it in SPSS. You can still do the same thing in SPSS. All right, David, we have overstayed. We are tired, so I'm going to stop here. Any questions for now? Hello?
No, sir. Hi.
Okay, David, over to you.
So it's like David left to.
I hope this meeting was being recorded though. I hope it didn't stop. Okay. All right, so any questions? At least the little we did, I hope we can replicate it, right?
Wow, yes, thank you. We can, sir,
for the session. It was beautiful.
There are some confusions there, but
yeah, okay.
You've done well.
It's by practice. It's by practicing. When you practice it, when you try and watch this video again, and then I think then 2 years about it. All right. I don't know. Can someone call David and let's know before we Okay, good night, everybody. At this point, we'll take our leave.
All right, good night, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Good night.